You want to know what I'm doing here? Why I'm approximately 30 miles outside of Allentown, Pennsylvania, at an old Agco dealership? Follow along and you'll see for yourself. Hey everybody, it's Arl from Arlhaus, and today I am in Ole, Pennsylvania, about 30 miles outside of Allentown, Pennsylvania. That's about 2 hours from where I live, at an old Heston Agco dealership here. You can see the buildings. So what am I doing here? Well, this is the Shanding warehouse for this area, and I'm supposed to meet you in order to ask him some questions about Shanding and take a look at some of the equipment. Now, I'm not here as of yet, and this is a good time to talk about how sometimes things are lost in translation when you're dealing with another country. Right now, I'm in the process of using WhatsApp to reach my rep over there, and even though it's 11 o'clock at night, she is doing her best to find out where Mr. is over here, keeping in mind that there's 12-hour difference between East Coast time and China time. I'm wondering whether or not this building contains a bunch of excavators, and perhaps the other one over here as well. So I'll be back with you guys as soon as arrives. All right, everybody, it's Arl from Arlhaus, and I'm down the road from the supposed warehouse that I was supposed to have an interview with the warehouse manager. I'm not going to return to the property because it's actually private property, and this was quite a boondoggle in terms of, I took about 2+ hours out to get here, and definitely information was lost in translation. And I'm not going to blame Vivian, my rep, because I don't think she really even was aware higher up. She was working on trying to get me an answer, but I will get back behind a computer and kind of flesh this out for you so you can see exactly uh, what this was all about. So if you stick with me, find out what all this meant. All right, guys, I'm back. It's the same rainy Monday that you saw me in the first part of this video on my way out to what we believe to be the Shanding warehouse. So what I'm going to do here is first I want to tell you that I appreciate you guys as an audience, and one of the things I want to do here on this channel is keep things totally transparent. So that means the good stuff comes out and the not so good stuff comes out. What I'm going to do now is basically explain to you what was supposed to happen, what actually happened, why I think it happened, and then a recap on my experience so far with Shanding. All right, so let's talk about what was supposed to happen. Over the last couple of months, I've been speaking with emailing with my rep Vivian from Shanding. She's been fantastic, answered all my questions. And one of the things that she mentioned was that they were going to have a New York warehouse. The idea came up that I would go and visit a warehouse, ask some questions, which I'm going to put up here on the video, to the warehouse manager, specifically a little bit about Shanding, what they were doing in the United States, the warranty policies, and to talk about the models that they had here. Because all you guys have seen so far is this model here, the SD12U that I have, but obviously they have a whole line. And the second part of the video at the warehouse was going to be me going over those particular models so you could get a good look at them. Anyway, this was all set up for today, Columbus Day. I happen to have the day off. We did this all in advance, and even up through yesterday, we were communicating with who I was supposed to see over there. So, my camera crew team, which is my wife and my daughter, they were both off too. We all trekked out this morning from my house in New Jersey out to where the warehouse was, which is about 30 miles from Allentown, Pennsylvania, kind of in a real rural area. We get there about 10:30, and there's no cars. Um, Nothing was around, so what you saw in the video was me kind of poking my head around. Now, what I have to say is that particular area had a dead spot for cell service. So when I didn't see anyone around, we drove up the road, got a couple of bars of service, and I was able to send a call out to Vivian and also an email. And lo and behold, even though it was roughly 11 o'clock at night in China, she responded saying by email that she needed to talk to her higher-ups. Now, interestingly enough, when we had been over and not getting a cell phone signal, we happened to look to see if there was any Wi-Fi, and my daughter was the one that noticed there was Wi-Fi at the building, and it had a particular name to it, which kind of struck a chord with me from stuff that I had seen on the internet. So when I hadn't heard back from Vivian, I Googled that name, and sure enough, the name of that business, which is a transport company and also another seller of multiple brands of Chinese mini excavators, I found that website, and in the website was a phone number. So I called the number. I asked to speak with the individual, or the person that answered the phone, the individual I was seeking, and sure enough, that was who it was on the other end of the line. However, I got a completely different story. Okay, he does not work for Shanding. He is not the warehouse manager. He owns the property there, and he does allow them to store some of their stock there. And then he has an arrangement where he will forward it over and transport it to wherever, whoever buys it. But he was never contacted. He had no idea about the questions that I was going to ask. He had no, and he told me that even if he had been contacted, he doesn't work for them. He wasn't going to do the interview. So then, I thanked him, and we started heading back to New Jersey. So I'm thinking to myself, why go through all this, right? Why did we set this up, communicate over months at a time, just in order for me to find out that there really was no warehouse of theirs, definitely wasn't a warehouse manager. And I started to think that they were probably trying to prove that they have some kind of presence here in the United States. That's the only thing I could think of, that they actually had a warehouse, they actually had stock here, whatever the case was. And so I did send out an email. I'll see if I get a response from Vivian, to explain it. But let me recap, okay? On the positive side, my purchase of my two machines went off without a hitch. Wonderful customer service from her. I don't know if she happens to be the shining star of their organization or that's how they really treat all their customers. Maybe I just got lucky. I don't know. But I can't say enough good things about her. Am I happy with the machine and the whole process of purchasing the machine? Absolutely. The machines have been good, with the minor things that I've mentioned, like the broken seatbelt and so forth, which was my fault. But so far, 25 hours in, everything has been good. And even the communication and the person she referred me to, since I couldn't have it directly delivered to my house, turned out to be a good contact as well over there. So all of that is definitely on a positive note. Now, not so good, whatever it was we want to call what happened today. What does that say to me? Well, it says that they are a purchase and import company as of now. I don't know of any dealers out there. Doesn't look like they're stocking any parts or accessories here. So everything that you may want from them, although very good, or at least in my opinion so far, isn't going to be here. You're going to have to order it. All that to say is that this reminds me of something that was said by one of our past presidents, who it's trust but verify. And, I had what I considered a trusting relationship. I'm not throwing that away, okay? But I definitely didn't feel good about today, and I really would like an explanation. And I said as such in my email. So If I get a response, that'll be tacked on to the end of this video. If not, this will be the end. I've got plenty more things lined up, things I know you guys will be interested. I appreciate you watching. If you haven't subscribed, I ask you to please do so. Keep the comments rolling in. The comments give me ideas on what you guys want. And it also, helps me on things that I may do wrong, or compliment me if I'm doing something right. Lastly, likes are as good as well. So unless I add on to this with a response, that'll be it for now, and I'll see you on the next video.